Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to MTG Live. This is your boy Q, and of course, I got the crew with me, my boy Hendrix and my girl Miss Shimmy. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Hey, gang.
What the
I
hell is
guess I
going
should be
on
looking straight
today?
on, huh?
Nothing. My view got better. Up this way.
Your view got better.
That way. Up that way. My Friday done got better. Just up that way.
Your Friday got better. Is that because Hendrix was on?
Up that way. That way. Yes. And he got his arms out, little dad bod out a little bit. Hey now.
You know what? Now, Reggie, if you had a dad bod and you didn't want nobody to know you had a dad bod, now everybody know you got one.
Reggie been
Actually,
showing his dad bod the whole time we've been virtual. So everybody know Reggie got a dad bod now. And I done said it enough times to know.
So
actually,
what specifically is a dad bod?
Okay. So this is okay. So just kind of picture this is a man straight up and down, right?
Okay.
My hand, right? So you got the stomach that come over just a little bit, not much. Just like say this like his stomach right here. So just like a little bit. It's smaller than a beer belly, but it hang over just enough not to hang, like hang down, like it poke out a little bit. You know how like the stomach be big when you're full, like that.
It prove I eat well.
Thank you, that part. And then he got like his beard going, and everything is clean shaved and stuff, and everything.
You think I'm clean shaven now?
It don't matter how your beard look, Reggie. It's just nice all the time. It's fine.
Well, everybody, welcome to the show. Of course, listen, if you want to join the conversation, you know what to do. Go ahead and drop us a comment or two, and we definitely be more than happy to go ahead and get with you guys in regards to your comments. Listen, tonight is all about the election. We're gonna talk about the election a little bit, and of course, we're gonna do a couple of hot topics before we even get to that place. And real quick, just an announcement or two. Of course, on next week, you will see Miss Shimmy Tipsy Tuesday will be returning on next week. Of course, my boy Happy Hour with Hendrix is also going to be on. Then also F-Bomb Crew on Thursday night. At what time y'all going on? Was it 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Barring
8
any
o'clock.
technical difficulties.
Reggie, you was doing good. So I think we should just turn that into a blooper reel. Them 12 minutes that you was on, we should turn it into a blooper reel. Because he was just really talking black screen. He had, I can see me. I don't know if y'all can see me, but I can see. Oh my God, that was so funny.
That was hilarious. That was funny. And I was just laughing my ass off. And I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can go on here and fix this. And so I went on and I made it to where they could see him. And then next thing I know, he was gone.
He's gone.
I said, well, that was 9 minutes.
Reggie said he had enough. He was finito done.
Look, when you have issues outside of the show that are already frustrating you, and then you have technical difficulties to add to it, it doesn't make your life any easier. And
Right.
honestly, I was just fed up.
Right. That's what Katie said. Katie called me and she said, "Is Reggie okay?" I said, "No, that's what happened when he get frustrated."
That's what happened when he get frustrated. Just say, fuck it. I'm out.
Hey, but when I ride and I get shit done, I get shit done. But when I get frustrated, fuck it.
Lord.
Listen, if we want you guys to join the conversation with us. Do us a favor, share this broadcast and all that good stuff. And definitely make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms and stuff like that. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? What's up, Periscope? Thank you so much. Our views are growing. We sure appreciate you guys. Make sure you click that red subscribe button and also share this broadcast with all your friends and your wonderful family. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, real quick, Miss Shimmy, now I asked you to grab a couple of hot topics before we dig into this election real quick. Because, of course, we'll hit it kind of like high level on tonight since Mo is nowhere around us. She might be on her way home. I think Mo might be on her way home. So she made, Mo's time, church start at 7:30. Mo get there by 8:45, 9 o'clock, just in time for the offering so she can go home. So, that's just kind of how we're going to do it. So,
hey, but at least she give her offering.
At least she give her offering. That's what I'm talking about. Leave your tithes and leave your offerings, everybody. And do me a favor. Don't be paying no building funds for 15 years and y'all ain't seen a slab of building. Don't do that shit. Okay, I'm trying
Ain't put
to tell
a
you.
doorknob on the church.
Not even a new doorknob. You can't get the church a new roof. Don't be doing that. So
they done had to build the roof fund for 35 years.
Roof still the same roof you had when we was kids.
And we in the exact same spot.
Same
Horrible.
spot.
Horrible.
All right, Valencia, we're going to get into it. Just stick with us, Valencia. We're going to talk about that because I definitely want to talk about the margin of Texas. We're going to talk about that. So, Ms. Shimmy, real quick, before we dive into this election, what hot topics you got for us on tonight?
So, I actually sent it to you. Of course, yeah, I sent it to you personally. So, we're going to talk about the first hot topic. It's kind of a sad one, but I do want to talk about it anyway.
Send it to Mash Gas, Ms. Shimmy, because I can't see it on StreamYard.
You just messed up my whole sharing thing. I was in the midst of sharing this post and broadcast, and you trying to get to the hot topic.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to do that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Oh. You did mean to do it because you always do it. You meant to do it. I'm having some technical difficulties with my light, so y'all just bear with me.
We bearing with you, Miss Shimmy. We bearing with you.
It's going in and out. So.
And again, once I step away, I'm going to go get my pizza.
Wait, you said what?
That's it. It's going in and out. It sounds like a Good Friday to me.
You ain't here, so it ain't the greatest Friday. Well,
Do I need to dismiss myself so y'all can have a moment?
Because as soon as you get out, we dismiss our own selves later. So mind your business.
Thank you, Miss Shimmy. Okay, so okay, which one you want to do? This one right here? Oh, the baby.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, hold on, y'all.
Oh, and then she took off.
No, I didn't. I'm trying to get my light to it's going in and out. But anyway, did you get it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so earlier this week we had the baby's big older brother from what I read, his older brother. There it is. Is that better? Can y'all see me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So the rapper The Baby, if our demographic of people sometimes don't know who these rappers are. But the rapper The Baby, his brother Glen Johnson died, committed suicide. Actually.
Wow.
The video that was on Instagram, he did post a goodbye video on Instagram before it all happened, but it was a gunshot to the head. And he was 34. He was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I heard about it. And, it kind of fed into what we talked about last week on my show when we were talking about mental illness and depression and, really not knowing what people are going through.
Right.
So we'll never really know. On the video, I don't have the video. I can't quote it word for word anymore because it's now, since been removed from Instagram. But he did say his farewells. The baby was on, he did a small Instagram post, talking about mental illness and depression and saying, now, he needs to actually, all this stuff keeps popping up on my screen. I'm sorry, y'all. But it keeps, he's saying that now, he's going to be seeking out therapy as well for himself, just to make sure that he's straight. They haven't spoke too much about it. He hasn't done like any interviews or anything like that. But I've been kind of following it just a little bit this week. So our prayers and our hearts and condolences go out to the baby and all of his family and loved ones. From my understanding, the brother did have girlfriend / wife / baby mama and 2 kids, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Wow. So our hearts go out to him and his family.
Absolutely, our hearts go out to him because listen, let me tell you guys, whether you know it or not, suicide is real. Definitely, that's something that we take very, very seriously. We definitely want to make sure, of course, that we have him and his family in our prayers, even though we don't know him personally. This stuff is serious, and I just really quick want to go ahead and place this up on our screen. If you know anyone, if anybody, of course, that needs to have a conversation, or if you think that you may be feeling suicidal, you think you need someone to talk to, there's a National Suicide Prevention Hotline right below 1-800-273-8255. Again, 1-800-273-8255. So please do us a favor and definitely make sure that you give that number a call. And let me tell you, you can give that number on behalf of someone. They will actually pick the phone up and call them for you. Okay, everything is anonymous, and they'll be more than happy to speak with you and help you find someone in your area that can assist. So definitely, there's a National Suicide Hotline, a prevention hotline right below. Please give them a telephone call if you guys need them, and for your specific cities, states, and areas that you live. Yep. All right. Thank you, Shimmy. That was good. What else you got?
I will say this. And before y'all jump in, Q, since we're on the topic of people passing away, we had another classmate pass this week.
We had another classmate?
I think I saw that on your
Facebook.
Who passed away?
Regina Hicks.
Oh yeah.
So her wake is tonight, and then the funeral is in the morning. So she actually passed from cancer after she had her 40th birthday like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
I think Miss Webster's funeral is tomorrow, or homegoing is tomorrow as well.
I thought it was today.
Wake was.
I think the wake was today.
The homegoing
is tomorrow.
Okay. Then let's pray for everyone. Our Kimball Knights, Miss Webster was dear to our heart at Kimball High School. Band Booster Club president. She was also the registrar. Of course, we already know who the 3 Golden Girls was up at Kimball High School with Dixon, Webster, and Miss.
I can't never think of the other lady's name.
What's her name? Dixon.
I just called them the Golden Girls. I worked in the office age. I said the Golden Girls.
I can't never think of her name, but I'm gonna get it before we get off. But every time you go into every football game, when I was drum major, Miss Webster always made sure that I had my Coke and my Sprite. She was there for us. When we didn't feel like marching, and when we were tired or when we were frustrated, she would sit us down and be like, what, y'all, y'all know y'all want to be the best. You can't be acting like you want to be the best. Stop crying. Get out there and do what you need to do. And
you is spoiled rotten. That's why you are the way you are with these women.
Oh yeah, I'm spoiled. Of course I'm spoiled rotten. Of course I'm definitely spoiled rotten. And I just want to say, my condolences to Janet, to Tanya, to the entire Webster family. We're gonna miss her. And that's just what that is. We're definitely gonna miss her. And so, Miss Shimmy, what other hot topics do you have for us on tonight?
Okay. So, of course, we have to keep talking about this whole crazy child and her whole family. Miss Braxton.
Oh, so you want to pull her? Did you send her too?
Yes, I sent her too. So
I don't see it. Oh, it's an error, Miss Shimmy.
No, if you click it, it'll pop up.
It's an error.
Oh, gotcha.
If you click on it, it'll pop up.
I got it, Miss Shimmy. I got it for
you. So, of course, this was season 6, 7, 25 of Braxton Family Values that came
They ain't
on.
got no family values. Fuck them.
I like all the sisters except Tamar. I mean, like, for real, honestly, I like Tawanda. I like Tracy. I like Trina, Tony, Tamar.
I like Tamar up to a point. Of course, we've expressed this a billion times. But Trina and Tawanda are now speaking out in regards to the suicide now that the show has aired. So I don't know if y'all actually watched the show yesterday, but I did. And
it came out already?
Yes, it came on last night. And they showed this first episode was about the bachelorette party. Now, remember we was talking about them being 304s and how they mama didn't teach them how to be the right 304. And I'm being politically correct because my 25-year-old nephew sitting right here next to me.
That's a grown ass man.
Huh?
That's a
That's
grown
a grown
ass man.
ass man. What you talking about? Politically
No,
correct?
it's the other nephew. My other nephew. The oldest one. Anyway, moving on. So they was the Bachelorette episode, and of course we know Tawanda just as nasty as she want to be. So of course, you know, she had male parts all over the place. She had strippers. She had demonstrations. So if y'all haven't watched Braxton Family Values, I can go back and watch it. It's on WeTV. They actually showing a rerun tomorrow, I think, or something like that. But anyway, so the Bachelorette party was actually kind of cool. It was your typical Bachelorette party, you know, but of course you got Sister Saint Tamar, who is reborn, you know, or born again, or however, you know, she now sanctified and holy all over again. You know, she was, ooh, I don't want to touch that, you know. Anyway, she doesn't want to drink and all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, you have wine in your hand every day, but okay. But anyway, so Tawanda and what's that girl name? Trina are speaking out now in regards to the suicide. And it's really funny. This is coming from ETV, E Online, or whatever they calling it now. What is it? Entertainment Tonight?
eonline.com.
There you go. Them. And so the interview is funny to me because the way they speak about Tamar now is kind of like a nonchalant kind of thing. You know, at one point in time, they were all about their sisterhood and protecting the sisterhood and, oh, I love my sister and, you know, all that kind of stuff for TV now. But now, if you watch last night's episode when they give the testimonials at the beginning and they refer to Tamar's suicide, they're kind of like, she all right. She good.
Pretty much.
You know, so according to ETV, this is what Tawanda had to say. Tawanda said, we've been in contact with Tamar. And this is as of November 4th. Okay. We've actually seen her. I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We saw her while we were in LA. So then Tawanda goes back and she's talking in reference to the Tamar Hall show. You know, when Tamar went on Tamar Hall, and Tamar went on there to give her whole, you know, spiel or whatever. And Tawanda came back to say, oh, she's good for now. So it's kind of like they really just over it at this point. I think I'm over it at this point.
I was over it when the motherfuckers came out because don't nobody matter but Tony.
And she going through a midlife crisis.
And that's fine.
No,
that's fine.
Well, you know, because she's still but she like still with Birdman. So her new CD.
I asked this one question, just like with Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton. Mm-hmm. What the hell have you done to be famous?
Been Tony's sister. They've all had albums.
That didn't
except
go
for
wood.
Tawanda. Except for Tawanda. She
None
don't
of
want to hasn't had albums.
Wood.
You said what?
I think Trina had a single.
They had, oh, I'm sorry, Q. Go ahead.
Trina had a single that did good, but she didn't have a full album. I don't think did she?
She had an EP. I think
she
it was
had an EP. Yeah, but I think that did good.
Tracy had a full album. Tracy album sold. I really couldn't get past Tracy list, but you know, it is what it is.
Now wait. I have one question. When you say they did well, the albums did well in comparison to who and what? Because in my mind, again, I will repeat this. None of their albums
they did well.
Wood. No, they didn't go wood.
They went well compared to Little Mama, compared to the Chicken Noodle Soup Girl, compared to
I ain't heard one of their songs, and I remember the Chicken Noodle Soup song. Chicken Noodle Soup, Chicken Noodle Soup, Chicken Noodle Soup with a soda on the side. You tell me what I can't tell you what none of them people sang. Not a damn one.
Trina's EP, her song was Let's Party. They actually played on the Braxton. They actually played on the Braxton episode from last night.
Time out.
She performed at NBA basketball games with that song. So yeah, that was a good song. I liked it. It was a nice little dance pop song.
You can't get credit for a song that you play on your own show.
She performed at NBA games with that song. She did. She did a halftime show in Atlanta.
Halftime show of an NBA game during a pandemic. Make that shit make sense.
This was before the pandemic. What do you mean?
So don't nobody remember that shit.
Tamar's had a few albums. I actually have three of her albums. Two of Love and War, and then I can't think of the name of the second one. But then I also have her Christmas album. Her Christmas album was okay.
But you can't count free downloads on iTunes.
Let's move on. All right, we through all of that. Thank you so much, Miss Shimmy, for your hot.
Does taking the bottle to the head count at this point?
Go ahead, take it to the head, Miss Shimmy. Go ahead, take it to the head.
Reggie, let me have my moment. I be letting you, I'll let you shine. Let me shine. That was my shine moment. I want to shine.
Thank you, Twitch, for watching. We so appreciate all that good stuff. Thank you so much, Facebook. Thank you again. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Real quick, it's all about the election. So let's go ahead and let's show where we are at this moment. At this time, of course, I am going to go over this electoral college map the best way I can. Of course, since Hendrix is on with me, Hendrix is going to politically.
This Hendrix show, he should just lead the whole show.
So that's okay. But of course, let's go ahead and pull up the electoral college map. And this, of course, this is only according to what do people call AssociatedPress.com. Associated Press, of course, we do know that it's an actual mainstream political source. However, they are just a little off. But what they do is
USA Today got a better showing of it. You should have went to USA Today.
They have a better forecast on the predictions. Okay, CNN wouldn't come up for some reason. I don't know why the electoral college map would not come up, but that's okay because I know what I'm looking at, so it's all right. So here we go. So, Mission, what you get? You, huh? All right.
People talking in the background over there with Shimmy.
Oh, the nephew. Okay, so currently, let's go over this. So right now, currently, Joe Biden, according to Associated Press, they say that he has 264 electoral college votes to Donald Trump's 214. Right now, CNN has him at 253. Okay, so if you do the math, what they are doing is they are adding Arizona. Okay, Arizona. At this moment, Donald Trump has a small edge. I mean, a small pickup in Arizona that he is decreasing Biden's lead in Arizona. So the Associated Press, because of where they were on election night, they added the electoral college votes to Joe Biden. However, he has not, and I repeat, he has not received the electoral college votes for Arizona. All right. So real quick, we already know what we've been looking at for the longest. Real quick, of course, we're looking at Nevada right now as it stands. The winner gets 6 electoral college votes. It's at 49.8% to 48% in favor of Joe Biden by 0.8. 632,000 votes to 558,000. Of course, to Donald Trump's 609,901 votes. Of course, the next state we're going to be looking at, our wonderful, great little state, Pennsylvania. Of course, Pennsylvania, of course, let me go back to that. The winner gets 20 electoral college votes. All right. Biden was trailing, okay, by more than 300,000 votes on election night. Donald Trump thought he had Pennsylvania wrapped up, tied up in a bow.
Q, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Election night, Donald Trump actually was leading in Pennsylvania by 600,000 votes. The reason that this is important and the reason that this is critical is because the state of Pennsylvania, they count in-person election day votes first. They go back and count early voting. They then go back and count mail-in ballots and absentee ballots. So what happens is, because Trump was telling his followers, don't do mail-in ballots, go in the line, stand in the line, and vote on election day. This is the thing that most Republicans do. This is how they operate. Not saying good or bad, but just tendencies show that most Republicans vote on election day. Democrats, on the other hand, especially during this pandemic, they voted early and they voted with mail-in and absentee ballots. This is why his lead has shrunk significantly and he's now trailing in Pennsylvania.
And then actually as well, to add to what he was just saying, is Pennsylvania was not prepared to take so many mail-in ballots because they just made it legal prior to election. And so,
there's more to that story, Q.
Yeah, but we don't want to break it all the way down. We can give them a high level because we'll be here all night.
Fair enough,
and so what happens is Pennsylvania, they are still counting. Everybody, they still counting. Let's let PA count. Thank you, Philly. We love you, Philly. I can't wait to get out there and party in Philly. Go to Jill Scott's Club in Philly. That kind of deal. And do all that. Of course, real quick, let's go ahead and go to the next state that everybody's looking at. Come on, Georgia, with your bad ass. Of course,
Georgia better turn blue quick, because if they don't, I'm denying everybody getting their car back. Nobody gonna get their car back with me.
49.4% to Donald Trump's 49.3% at this time. Of course, the deficit is only by, let's see, what is it, Reggie?
4,020.
4,000 some odd votes. Like Reggie said, he gave the exact number. That is real crucial because Georgia is ruby red, like Texas. It's ruby red. And I think this is my pizza.
So will you hear him get this pizza? Because Domino's been coming for an hour.
And I'm gonna pull myself out and I'll be right back.
So what we need to explain to everybody is that what you're seeing is the process. Now, because of situations that were taken and actions that were taken by those in charge, the Postal Service was handicapped in delivering a lot of mail-in ballots. So I'm not going to call names, but we know, and you look at the facts, who made what decisions. Those are facts about deleting overtime, reducing mailing drop-off spots. This is all the act of a certain group of people. This is why it's taking so long.
Right.
However, what we also have to look at is that the voter turnout is ridiculously high.
Yes.
It's 1 billion people that have voted. 1.5 billion people that have voted, and they still haven't counted all the votes. Now, this is one thing that we have to give to both of these men. They both have number 1 and number 2 of voter turnout in U.S. history. Donald Trump is actually getting more votes than he did the last election cycle.
Right. I saw
However,
that.
Joe Biden is about 4.5 million votes ahead of him right now. Right. So, yeah. Now, with all this being said, I really, really hope that the winner of this election gets rid of this stupid ass electoral college, because it should be one vote, one voice, popular vote. If you run in the entire country, you should have the vote of the populace, not just, oh, well, we're going to divide it up here and there. No.
Right.
One vote, one voice, and that's how the president should be determined. Point blank, period. I understand why the electoral college was put in place initially. However, those times have passed, and we need to move on.
The times have passed for a lot of stuff. That don't matter.
Right. But here's the thing. If it's in the advantage of a certain party, they will do their damnedest to keep it in. The only problem is when it starts to work against them, then they want to cry foul.
Right.
Right.
So, 4 years ago, he was crying because he rigged the whole thing, and we called it unfair. So,
yes.
You know, and,
here's
and,
the
and
other
Reggie,
thing.
while you're talking about that, Reggie, I want to say this as well. I also saw something on CNN.com. Donald Trump, this is what got me. Donald Trump has had more votes from LGBT
The
people
alphabets.
and non-white Americans,
So,
Hispanics,
right.
pretty much is where that is saying. I'm trying to figure that out. Can you help me understand why?
Yeah, I got you. So now with the LGBTQ plus, I cannot explain that one. That is an oddity to me myself.
Yep.
However, I can explain the non-white or what we would consider or what is considered the Hispanic vote. Now you have to understand that the Hispanic vote is basically split into two groups. You have the group that are Americanized and their roots may be Hispanic, but they do not consider themselves Hispanic.
Right,
Prime example, Rafael Cruz, better known as Ted Cruz.
right. Ted
They
Cruz.
do not associate with themselves with the Hispanics that have come over recently and still have strong ties to Hispanic countries such as Mexico, Guatemala, Colombia. Those they disassociate themselves with that to the point where most of them don't even speak Spanish.
Yeah.
They consider themselves, well, I'm not going to make an assumption. However, they vote with what would be considered the white vote.
Okay, I'm
Now,
gonna
how they
say it. Since Reggie don't want to say it. Yeah, some of y'all Hispanics think you're white. You think you're white. Out there in Corpus Christi, come on, you think you're white. I mean, I used to work with some of them. They
Because they're close to the beach.
and and let me say this, and I'm not being funny, but we already deal, with our Oreos. We already deal with that, which is okay. However, one thing that I just don't understand for the life of me, y'all help me understand maybe. We know that we are people of color,
Right.
Asians, all of that. We are people of color because we don't look like the status quo. Okay, we can agree on that. But you will allow somebody to call your ancestors rapists and all kind of racial stuff, even with us.
But
You
he's
say
the
all kind of
but
stuff, and then we just run to it. I mean, it's like
but
being
but Donald
like
Trump is the
abusers.
least he's the least racist person we know. He's the least
Oh,
racist. The
yes.
least. He's the least racist.
Let me tell you, and each one of them dudes, I mean, dudes, I don't want to say dudes, I don't want to do that. Each one of the contestants that was on The Apprentice, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Donald Trump been doing this stuff for years. Anybody that watched The Apprentice, that was an advocate of the show, laughed at him, got paid from him, Nene Leaks, I got a Trump
I'm
set,
rich, bitch.
all of this kind of stuff. To me, it just I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. It's like we don't have no pride. I don't
it's
understand.
it's one thing because I honestly feel like they have disassociated themselves with their ancestry. Valencia, no, we didn't turn Texas blue. Didn't turn Texas blue at all. However, what you have to realize is that with Texas, your populous counties where all the population resides, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, El Paso. Go back and check that. Where your population centers are, and then along the coast of the border of the Rio Grande Valley, all that up and down in there was blue.
Right.
So
Right.
We
while
just shaking our head at the rest of them.
right now, what is interesting is that the population centers in the state of Texas do not make up enough votes to flip the small rural counties. Small rural counties tend to vote Republican.
Right.
Now, for the farmers, the industrialists, I understand why they tend to vote Republican, because they have large income that we may not see living in the city, we might not understand. However,
Right.
the Republican Party does tend to benefit them because their incomes are vast. Now, what they actually bring home versus their total income are two different things, but their total income is what is taxed. And this is why they tend to vote Republican, because that lower income tax for them is beneficial. So, whereas a person that's living in the city may not even think about going out and getting $1 million loan from a bank. However, a farmer with a few acres of land can easily go out and get $2-3 million to buy equipment to farm and process and harvest their land and all of this. And then that technically is considered income. What happens is they then flip that and say, oh, well, these were my business expenses. They write a lot of that off. They get tax benefits, and then they boost their personal income based on what they get after they pay all their bills as a business owner.
She said they vote thinking Republican Party means class and rich. They vote party, not morals.
And they have none over there. That's rich in corruption.
Well, here's the thing. You cannot put that entire label on the entire party.
True.
You have to look at the fact that in the last couple of days, what have we all been seeing on social media? We all have been seeing John McCain's his speech where he acknowledged that Barack Obama won.
Oh yeah, his 2008 concession speech.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if you look at that speech, he said a couple of key things in that speech. Hey, we're all trying to move toward a better America. We just see the path differently. Right. He specifically said, I'm going to work with him to help move us in the proper direction. When you lose a battle, you lose a game, you have to lose with grace and dignity. Because if you battle your best, and this is one of the things I know from playing sports, if I leave it all out on the field, the outcome is the outcome. After it's all over, I'm going to shake your hand and say, good game.
Good game.
That's not going to happen here, though.
It's not. However, we should know this due to the person that is leading the Republican Party.
Right.
So when you have this type of leadership that condones the ignorance and the stupidity that is running amok in their party, and they're not doing anything about it, it turns everyone off of that party. I myself I have several friends that are diehard Republicans that said, fuck this shit, I ain't voting for that motherfucker.
I'm not playing with Denithia. I'm sorry, Reggie.
Why are the major populations overshadowed by the smaller populations in the rural area? It's easy math, Denithia. Because you may have a larger concentration of people, but in the state of Texas, when you spread the population out over all these small counties, those little small counties, numbers add up. Now, here's the thing. You may have $100 bill, but I guarantee if somebody has 500-gallon buckets of pennies, they gonna have more money than you.
Yeah, and then too, I think as well, like the population. Am I saying this correctly? Maybe I hope I'm saying this right. The population, people move all the time. Domiciles change. That's specifically with Georgia. How many folks that we know left Texas to go out there?
But that's not even it, because me and my brother was just talking about that. If we look at how many people have moved into Texas this year, a lot, I'm not going to say majority, but a lot of them have come from blue states, Nevada, from Arizona. You know California. What I'm saying? They moved here.
Now, I will say this. People that have come from California have been settling in areas such as Denton County,
Right.
Ellis County,
Right.
Tarrant County. Their votes, a lot of them have not changed over their citizenship. They have not registered to vote in Texas, so they probably filed absentee ballots in their home state. After this election, because of the way and the time and the pandemic and all that, they probably figured like, well, if I get processed, it's gonna take too long. I won't be able to vote. I want my vote to count.
Right.
So I'm gonna vote in California where I'm officially registered, do an absentee ballot, boom, I'm good. Now I register to vote in Texas. Now I guarantee you in 2 years, watch what happens to the state of Texas, especially again, Dallas County, Ellis County, Denton County. Watch what happens. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, in Frisco, Little Elm, Allen, the demographics are changing.
Very much.
When you can spend 100,000, well, let's do the real math. You can in Texas, you can spend $500,000 and get you a nice ass house. In California, that same $500,000 will get you a condo.
I'm about to say that's all it's gonna get you is a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, it'll get you a condo in Cali. Now you think about this. These people have moved here with their jobs. They sold their home in California for millions of dollars. They come here and they say, hey, guess what? I only got to spend $500,000. I give me a badass house. Balling, got money in my pocket, balling. This is where the economy of Texas is churning like crazy. But what people don't see is that these same people that are bringing this business in, a lot of Texans don't let them bring California ways to Texas.
Right.
But you want the money.
But you want the money.
You want the
Right.
job. You want the economic benefit, but you don't want their values and their thought processes and their opinions.
Of course.
So Texas,
like
you gotta
moved
figure
here,
out what you want to do.
You moved here, be quiet, spend your money. Adapt to what we do. That's it.
Does that sound familiar?
Uh-huh.
Sounds a little bit like Jim Crow, slavery. I don't know. But then
Lindsay also says that that's why so many are in foreclosure. Speaking about farmers, not sure about that now. Look at Mitch and Lindsey Graham. Can I just say one thing about them? Just one thing, especially with Mitch McConnell's ass. Go home, go to bed, and never come out.
Wait a minute. But didn't he get reelected? Wait,
yeah,
he did.
He got reelected, right?
Yes.
In Kentucky.
In Kentucky.
Backwoods. Your mama is also your brother and your sister and your uncle.
Hey.
I like Kentucky now. I like Louisville. Louisville pretty cool. They got some good people out there in Louisville.
So,
they got good food out there.
They make great bats too.
Yeah, I like Kentucky. Real quick, Valencia.
I like the few of them bats now.
Valencia, this don't have to be your last question. You can ask as many as you want. She said Steve Bannon's War Room pandemic account was permanently suspended by Twitter after ex-Trump strategist said in the video Thursday that the president should execute, fire Dr. Anthony Fauci. I know what you're talking about. And the FBI director, Christopher Wray. Did you see that? He should be in jail. Charles Manson did the same thing with his followers. He died in jail. I saw that. that.
Listen, this is what I have to say. And I'm just going to say this because I'm not real political. Y'all know I hate politicians. I think they all crooks, but I at least pay attention to some of the parts that I know. To me, it's a shit show at this point. And I mentioned this to somebody else because, again, you got Donald Trump whining and crying over the same shit that happened 4 years ago when the Democrats said it was all rigged. So to me, I think personally, I'm with Reggie when he says it goes by the popular vote. But then if it goes by the popular vote and we did the popular vote in this one, I still think Trump would have came out on top and we would have been
actually no. He's losing
with the popular vote.
But what I'm saying is, if we continued on with it, I think eventually he would have came out ahead.
Let me ask you this: when was the last time a Republican president was elected that won the popular vote?
Oh, was that a question directed towards me?
Yeah.
Everybody. Does
I mean,
anybody
I
want to
know. I
answer
mean, I don't remember any Republican get capturing the popular vote other than George W. Bush. I
Right.
think his first term, and that's because he was funny. He tell jokes.
Now this was Daddy Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Daddy Bush
It
after
was
Reagan?
Daddy Bush.
Was it after Reagan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was the last one that won the popular vote and the electoral college. Since then, no Republican president has won the popular vote and the electoral college. When the Democratic presidents have been in play, they won both the electoral college and the popular vote.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I back the blue in this case and point, but not just because good savior. But I mean, I think even I heard this on 97.9 this morning. There was a young lady, I think she was like 23 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she voted for Trump because he's a good businessman. And she said she believes more young people are voting for him because he's a good businessman. And they're thinking about
if you're a good businessman.
Wait, I wasn't finished.
Oh.
Because that's what I was finna say. Because to me, if he was such a good businessman, he would be producing the proper documents when asked. He wouldn't be on all the news headlines of being corrupt and his, filing bankruptcy and all that kind of rumor, all this kind of stuff if he was a good businessman to me. I mean, I watched Dirty Money. I don't know if nobody else watched Dirty Money, but I watched it. You got your son-in-law that's, under investigation for all the corrupt stuff he done financially, and I don't agree with her.
I'm gonna address that, but I'm gonna get back to some of those comments Q popped up.
Okay, what you want to talk about?
No, well, it was a couple of them because I captured them real quick. Now, when we're talking about the popular vote, Biden has won more votes than anyone in U.S. history to this point. Period. Donald Trump is number 2. Period. No issues there. What I'm talking about when I said popular vote and electoral college, you have to go back. And it's been a while since a Republican president has won both the popular vote and the electoral college. So as far as right now, I'm not speaking on this race because this race is not done yet. We're breaking history, period. With the popular vote. Okay, I might be off a little bit. I'm doing this by memory, so forgive me. I'm a little tired. It's the end of the week, so I might be a little off. That's fine. But this is why I always tell people to do your own research, which is what gonna lead me to Shimmy's comment about the young lady saying he's a good businessman. If you're a good businessman, you can start your company from nothing and create something. He did not start from nothing. He got a $1 million loan from his father. His brand is based on his name, not necessarily his assets.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. The man has a ton of assets. He does. However, when you look at his liquidity, dude broke.
Very much so.
I'm not talking about black broke or common man broke. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about he rich broke, where he's not liquid. His money is tied up. He can't easily access it. So like me, us, it's we need to go get $100. Okay, we hit the ATM machine. He making big transactions. He can't just go and pull out, I need $1 million. You a billionaire, but you can't pull out $1 billion liquid. That means you're not really a good businessman because that means your assets and your liabilities don't equal out to where you actually are liquid to where you can make moves.
Right.
My hammer broke. So when you look at he's rich broke, right? And I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it is.
But there's a lot of rich, broke people out here too.
Yeah, you can't, if you can't make moves. I thought she said my hammer broke.
She did.
That's why I just went on laugh.
She said it's MC Hammer, bro.
He got the coin. He got the coin. He just can't go grab it.
Right. Now, is that? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. You can declare that, hey, I am a billionaire because you have the assets to state that. However, dude, if you can't make moves, you can't make moves. It's just like anybody else that's broke. Check it out. I'm gonna explain it for the people in the back. This is how it works, right? So let's say you got your job and you get paid on Friday, but it's Wednesday and you got bills to pay and your bank account is at zero.
You go on and pay them bills and then you get it back on Friday.
Right. But if you were to say, hey, I need $100 right now, you can't make that move. You're gonna have to wait until something else comes through. See, this is what I'm talking about. He rich broke because he may want to do something, and this is why he has so many outstanding loans. Right. These loans, because of the way our tax system is set up, they help offset his quote unquote income because then these loans are counted as liabilities, which are then deducted from his tax. Now, he got some lawyers that did some wild ass math to where you could say you only paid $750 in taxes. Because I know good and damn well, I pay more than $750.
I pay way more than $750 in taxes. Now
I pay more than that in a paycheck. Fuck you, I'm pissed.
Okay, I don't pay that much in a paycheck, but
and then too, and Reggie, even just to add to that, you know, what one thing this is really cool, kind of cool about our democracy as Americans is that of course we're all entitled to think and believe based off what we do, what we make, all that good stuff. But one thing that I will say, even if I like for example, it was my niece's first time graduate voting as an adult. It was her first time, and I was so happy to see that. But I don't know who she voted for, but let's just say she voted for Trump. I couldn't get mad at her for that because our ancestors died for us to vote. They didn't say to vote for who, they said to vote. And so my thing is that some of these babies, they are so attached with their phone and they are looking at Facebook and they're looking at Instagram versus looking at some stocks and bonds and see what the economy is doing. They're not paying attention to how the laws are affecting your local laws, are affecting your state laws, are affecting your pockets, your taxes. You know, so these babies have a one-track mind when you go vote for the first time. A lot of times, and I'm not gonna say everybody. Let me say for the first time, you don't really know. You kind of vote maybe where your family voting. You know, you kind of go to that particular, you know, that particular thing. And so I think that if you know, I'm not gonna trip with you if you voted for Trump. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it because that's just like telling somebody not to sleep with somebody else's husband or wife and they married, you know, and they know they're not supposed to, you know, but you got the choice and the option to, you know. Right. And so my thing is like, if you vote, that's cool with me. Now beware on how you spend your vote, because if Trump was to get back in office for another 4 years, I'm sorry to say the American economy will not be able to afford another 4 years of a deficit caused by a president of using irresponsible tactics to keep money in folk pocket who won't give us shit. And right. I ain't saying that we broke. I'm saying that we need to be able to, like Reggie. Remember when we was growing up, Shimmy, you too. You just a little bit younger, but when we was growing up, we saw our parents work one job.
Right.
One. Right. They took care of everything. Whether gas went up, whether the oil went up, car wash went up, if the bills went up, it didn't matter. You went and you saw mom and them work one time, one job. You may put a little overtime. A lot of people didn't have to get 2 and 3 jobs.
And there's 7 kids in my family.
Now You got, oh yeah, he's putting us back to work. We're going back to work, but you killing yourself. Have no time with your family, working 2 or 3 part-time jobs. You know,
now,
what does it?
I'm working 11 hours a day almost.
This is what I will tell people, and this is where yeah, you right on that one.
So you better pay that. You better pay that.
You pay them.
Somebody better go out there and get that money.
This is what I keep telling you. What I keep telling people is that depending on your income bracket, Trump's tax cuts have benefited some people. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm one of them. I am one of his tax benefits have helped me personally. This is where you have to look at morals, and you as a person have to look at your true values. Because it benefits me personally, but if I look at people that look like me, they not benefiting from it.
Right.
A lot of people that look like me are not benefiting from these tax cuts. I have a problem with that. I would rather pay more in taxes and have those that make less pay less in taxes, because I feel like it's my responsibility to put in a bigger amount because I make more. So as a person with morals, I feel like it is my responsibility to add more to the pot for everybody else because I make more. If I'm getting more out of the economy, I should be putting more in to our cities and our states. And that's
but you said something. But you said what? A person with morals. That's the difference. A person with morals.
Well, it's not just that, Shimmy. And it may
you got greedy people.
It may not be that the person doesn't have morals.
He don't.
It could be that they're selfish. Now, and some people they don't even realize that they're being selfish. So you have to take that into account as well. Sometimes people don't realize that they're even being selfish until they step back and see it from another angle. This is why I always try to see things from the other side. Whether I agree or not, if I can understand your thought process, doesn't mean I have to agree. But if I can understand your logic and your thought process, then I can be like, well, okay, I don't agree with you, but I see where you're coming from.
Right.
Jay said America is all about money over morals.
Of course. Of course. I mean, we know that from when they came over here on the goddamn Mayflower.
But see, that's why Texas
damn moral did.
That's why we red. We that's why we red. We got
Let me ask you this.
We got
what 2 states have the most millionaires?
I'm gonna let you answer that question because I'm gonna get that shit wrong, but I do know Texas is one of them. But you go what the other one is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the top 3: Texas, Florida, and Arizona. Not in that order, but those are your top 3 with the most millionaires. Guess
California don't got no damn millionaires. They faking it.
Well, no.
No, some of them got some money.
No,
but he said the most. That's what I'm saying. He said the most.
The most. Now, why do these 3 states have the most millionaires? Because they are friendly to those with a lot of money. They also are debtor states where they don't hold your debts against you.
Correct.
And the other thing is they make it very easy for the wealthy to come in and live in these states because they do not have income taxes.
Yep.
That is key. There is no income tax. So if you don't have federal tax and then a state tax coming out of your check, you good. If you're a millionaire and you're making business moves to where you're only getting paid once a month or once a quarter or maybe a couple of times like that, but the thing is, nobody wants to pay that. It won't hurt to pay your fair share. I feel you, Lab Rat. Now, what you have to understand is these people may set up their permanent residence in these states, but I guarantee you, they don't live there.
You can't live in Arizona 24/7. I don't know how I did it.
You only
I don't know how you did it.
you only have to live in that particular state for 6 months and 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You have to be there for technically you have to be there for 6 months and 1 day. But guess what? If you own the property, you're paying bills at the property.
Yep.
Who's gonna say when you was there?
Yep.
Because you can say, hey, I paid this bill on this date and this date. I paid my mortgage and da 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 da.
But and if you look at it, a lot of people, and this is just from me living in Arizona, most of the people, the snowbirds, they're originally from Florida. Or they're from Texas. Snowbirds. They come in the wintertime and they leave in the summer. Because when it's hot. So they come to Arizona when it's winter everywhere else because Arizona's still warm. And then when Arizona gets hot, then they come to Texas or Florida. Snowbirds. That's what you call them. Snowbirds.
So real quick, let's go on and move a little bit on further with the show. So I got a question, y'all. My question is, why does Donald Trump think that he's being cheated? Is it because he's just losing? Or is there an error or an issue with the mail-in ballots?
There's no error or issue, I don't think. In my own personal opinion, I think he's just being a spoiled brat ass privileged male.
I will answer that question the PC way. All right? Answer the question the PC way. When you are used to having your way and you're used to getting your way, everything's fine. However, when those same rules go against you, you want to cry foul. Here's the problem.
Privileged.
The rules can't bend your way 1 minute and then the opposite way when you're not in power. The rules are the rules. And this is the problem we have because the rules only seem to apply to certain people. This is why I always tell people, when you see justice, it's just us. That don't include everybody.
Everybody else.
Yep.
That don't include everybody. Lab rat, that's a good way to say it. You can say they're a sore loser, and that's fine. But the reality of it is, how vote counting works, this is what you need to know. When votes and ballots are being counted that are not electronic, because when it's electronic, it's a machine that spit them through, you good. When votes have to be counted, the 3 reasons votes have to be counted, they get ejected by the electronic voting machine. They're mail-in or absentee ballots. Those are the 3 counts those are 3 reasons they're counted by hand. Now, when they're counted by hand, this is what everybody doesn't know, and they really need to know. That in the room that the vote counts are happening, there is a Democrat and a Republican, or if there's a third party, all parties are represented, and they have representatives in the room where the vote is being counted.
Right.
The parties tell them, this is my representative before the election even starts. You know exactly who this person is. The reason they have to know is because they have to provide them credentials to gain access.
Right.
It's not something that happens just overnight. No, this happens before the election or any election even occurs. You have to clarify and define who is your representative or representatives for each and every voting place.
Right.
There's a Democrat and a Republican. All these polls, there is a Democrat and a Republican watching everything that happens. Now, people are going to say, oh, well, they filed a lawsuit that says, oh, they couldn't be in the room. The issue was that a lawsuit was filed by the Republicans to gain them a little bit closer because you went from being 50 feet to 30 feet. You gained 20 feet to see people do this and do this. Open up, do this. Open up, do this. They gained 20 feet. That's what the court system was. That's what the legal mumbo jumbo was about. To gain 20 feet. Don't believe me? Go look it up for yourself and actually look at the details of the case. So when you look at the details of the case and you actually understand the process, all this fraud, there's not any fraud, dude. How? And
let me tell you, I'll give y'all the ghetto answer. He ain't trying to go to jail.
Facts.
I was going there, Q.
He ain't
I
trying.
sent you the meme. He not going to jail.
I was going there.
His kids going to jail.
Oh, he going to Russia.
He going to Russia.
So what's going to happen is these votes are being counted, and nobody's backing him on this. He's even getting rid of his own legal team that he put together. He put together this legal team, and he getting rid of them because they hadn't found anything that they can actually go with. But what you need to also understand, two things Donald Trump has done while he's in office. He has changed his permanent residence from New York to Florida. Why is that critical? Tell you why this is critical. Florida is, again, a debtor-friendly state. Another thing is that the lawsuits that are pending against Trump in New York, if he wins a second election, they will expire due to statute of limitations.
Right.
However, if he loses, I guarantee you, March, April sometime, we gonna see lawsuits from the DA of New York being filed against Donald Trump. Watch my word.
Absolutely.
You watching?
April
Don't watch.
He going to jail. They gonna catch it. You know,
they need to, as they packing his bags out the White House, they just need to go on and take him. Let's just go on and take you one stop to the next stop. I know that's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen. But that's what they should do. Just go from one White House to the big house.
What you have to understand is the optics, right? You have to understand the optics of the situation. So, how would it look for a president, soon as he leaves office, to go right to jail?
It will look good to me. From the White House to the big house. White House to the big house.
However, from a legal standpoint, he could argue he was being targeted.
Right. And,
go ahead. He was being targeted before he even went in there.
Right. But he can argue that point and say, oh, it was unjust and unfair because they had a grudge against me. What the DA has spent this time,
he sounds like a toddler.
What I hope they spent this time doing is gaining evidence to make a bulletproof case. Because if you want to charge somebody and take them to jail, the thing about even with his impeachment case, the statute allowed, the burden of proof for impeachment is very, very high and very, very vague. However, on the lower level, if you have the evidence, that burden of proof is a lot lower, and you also do not have the power of the presidency, which gives you unlimited access to funds to do this.
Right.
So if you want to build a legal team, but it's gonna cost you. And due to his history of not paying people, anybody that's representing him, I guarantee you they're getting their retainer and their payment up front.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then it is Shimmy. I wish that could happen, Miss Shimmy, but I'm agreeing with Hendricks because we do have to protect the reputation and the appearance of this country. You know,
he already done messed that up.
But no, not necessarily. Just because he screwed up 4 years doesn't screw up pretty much how people look at America. What it does is it gives them a certain image of America or how crooked Americans can be. And so what happens is that if he walks out the White House and they slap on handcuffs as soon as he walk out the White House, just like Reggie said, you know, that's definitely something he could say to talk about being targeted. But another thing is that how embarrassing would that be for an outgoing president, because he still has certain protections, because he will still have knowledge of different things, you know, and so he would be protected for a little bit. But I agree with Reggie. Let's build a solid case against him, because what happens is I
don't disagree with that.
Each state can go after him.
Right.
Each state. And see, when you break laws in multiple states, you're gonna get it. He
gonna do it all the time at his house.
No. And you know why?
Valencia, he calls his own laws.
His cult.
His cult burned ballot boxes. Not realizing Republican ballots were in there also. They blocked roads, voters. Cult
She
members
said his cult.
they're blocking access, block Republican voters too. He caused his own fall.
You know what, Valencia? We might have to have Valencia on the show, man.
His
Valencia is in
cult,
Florida.
the cult of the white sheets.
They're our
of the white sheets.
We're going to bring you on the show, Valencia. So let us know when you want to come on, and we'll send you a link and have you come on to the show. She also said here that he's been doing too many tweets and videos that can jail him.
But this is my thing. I've never known, and I've been saying this from the beginning. I've never known a president. I mean, I know they all have access to like their own little cell phone and stuff, but I've never known high political officials to have access to their own stuff. Don't they have speechwriters? Don't they have social media personnel? Don't they have people to do this?
If it's their choice.
Do you realize? No, Jimmy, calm down. Do you realize that Barack Obama was the first president with a smartphone?
I don't be looking at their cell phones. I think they would have more. I would think they would have more things to do with their time than to send out a tweet.
But this is what I'm telling you is that only the last two presidents of the U.S., only the last two, have had access to smartphones. Only the last two presidents have had access to smartphones.
KR.
They did not want Obama with his BlackBerry. They didn't want him with one, so they had to custom make him one with the security features that he needed in it.
I get that. No. But this is what I'm saying. I get that. But I would think if I was the person in charge of having my finger on the button, that I would have more important things to do than to send out a tweet every 5 minutes.
But here's the other thing you have to understand about first and foremost, people need to understand that you may have the highest office in the land, but you are still a man. In the event, okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Getting into a position of power or exclusivity, it does not change who you are. It exposes who you really are. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? I'm gonna show you with this correlation. But everybody that went to college, HBCU, and knew anybody that pledged a fraternity or sorority, you always have that few that get in and they completely change up who they are because they were lacking something on the inside and they thinking these letters are gonna fill it. You also, it holds true.
Labrat says they tried to create Obama's BlackBerry. And let me say this, and
I just still think that you have more important things to do than to send out a tweet.
My boy Kenneth Ross, that's in Houston. What's up, KR? KPKR. Hey, listen. He also says Trump makes his own rules, but let me tell you, one thing that gets me, Shimmy, you have to keep this in mind. Think of it like this: when you're growing up in the church house, and you got the choir president. The choir president tell everybody what to do. That person goes out. The new president comes in. They're not going to run the choir the same way. Everybody gets their opportunity to run it their way. Now, if I was his national security advisor, I would have said, listen, Mr. President, not only can you be hacked, but it's not smart for you to be in a position to always dictate what you feel the country should do by social media. Now, Biden, I'm sure, will do a few things, but I'm definitely sure that he's not going to be on Twitter tweeting every 5 minutes.
But that's what I'm saying. I get it. I get everything y'all saying. I just, me personally, feel that there is so much other stuff we could be worried about than you sending out a tweet.
I didn't know that Trump had been hacked several times, Valencia. Didn't know that.
You want to know?
I believe it though.
I'm gonna show y'all another twist to this story. If you ever want to know how seriously a president takes their job, look at their before picture and their after picture. That'll tell you the whole story. Every president of recent history, minus Donald Trump,
They hair
you look at
turned
their
white.
before picture and their after picture. Before they became the president and after they became the president, you will see a dramatic change because the stress that they took on
Exactly.
from the position.
Exactly. Because Obama was woo, and he came out salt and pepper child. He was
Yes.
still sexy. He
But
was
see,
still
think
sexy.
about it too. Trump, this is in his now. People say got good business sense and stuff like that. See, a good businessman hires the right people around them to continue to push the business forward. You don't run the country like that. You cannot afford to take your eye off of one fucking thing the whole fucking 4 years you were in office. You don't have time.
That's what
You
I'm
go after
saying.
us.
Like
Everything can happen. You got the pandemic, you got national security,
but
you
yet
have
you got time to send out a tweet every 3 minutes.
every 3 minutes. And I agree, if Obama would have did half of this, not only would he been crucified, but they would have damn sure tried to impeach him because when he first got in office, if y'all remember, Obama inherited a red Senate and a red House.
Okay. Well, before someone exits the stage, you didn't get the message. Okay.
Oh, I got it now.
Okay.
I got it.
So it would wear me out too. It's wore me out because I'm exhausted. So, Q, anything else?
You don't end my show. You know what? Boom. That's how you do that. Just see me have these moments. You don't end my show.
I wasn't ending the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, people watching. You don't be rude to our viewers.
I was not ending the show.
Anything else?
I was saying, is there anything
else?
Oh,
she nice over there in front of her family. She being nice tonight.
I was fixing to say
One more thing.
I was finna say because my boo tired, he got something else to say before he get off. He got to get some rest.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Hold on, Rich, because I know you got to go. My boy's tired. So what do you guys think? Oh shit, here it is. About my girl here, Stacey Abrams. Should she inherit a position in the White House? She should get a spot in the White House.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Actually, you know where I think she would be a good fit?
Well, what you think she would do?
2 spots I think she would be a good fit. And I don't know how people gonna feel about this, but the housing and urban development, I think she'd be a good fit there.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure exactly which umbrella it fits under, but making sure that the financial assistance from the government is done correctly, like with child support,
government assistance,
food stamp, all that stuff. I think she would be a good fit there.
Absolutely. I think honestly she will be a good education secretary.
That's what I was going to say. Education.
That's another one. I think actually the education secretary might handle all that same stuff. I could be wrong though. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I said I'm not sure which umbrella it falls under because it may go a multiple. But yeah, I think she would be good, and that would be another good aspect.
I was going to say educational aspect of it. Yeah.
Well, listen, everybody. We sure appreciate you watching the show on tonight. Of course, very quick before we jump off, we are looking for the MTG Beauty of the Week starting on next week. Of course, we're looking for the beautiful, the vivacious, the sexy boss ladies of the country, of the freaking world. We want you. Send us a bio and a picture of yourself and why you will be a great fit at mashthegas@gmail.com. We received a couple of entries. But I honestly, even though y'all gonna talk about me anyway after we get off, but I just think that I want to give an honorary MTG Lady of the Week to my girl, Tashara Parker.
You, damn it, Q.
What?
She was supposed to be the first one, man. What the fuck, man?
Well, he gave her honorary, and then she gonna get the first one. So that's 2 awards. You better go, sis. You better go, sis.
Secretary of State. Woo. That's a hard job.
Secretary of State is hard.
Hard job. Woo.
Tia Leone even made it look hard on the show, on the TV
She
show.
does need more power. I agree. Right. Secretary of State, that's a hard one right there.
Yeah.
But everybody.
And I wouldn't agree. I would have to disagree with Secretary of State. The only reason I would disagree with that one because she doesn't have a military background.
Right.
Okay.
I would have to, and I could see where her stance, her knowledge would be great to the position, but a critical negative, and I don't want to say negative, but a critical shortcoming would be military understanding. So Secretary of State has to have an extensive knowledge of military. They have to have an extensive knowledge of military
operations.
Operations. Thank you, Shimmy.
Yeah.
Now, everybody asks, well, what about Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. However, Hillary Clinton was also the First Lady for 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. She knew
this is
stuff.
Where she gained that knowledge.
Right.
Right. So she would have to have more of a military background. I wouldn't. I mean, I would love to see her there, but in all honesty, I think we could find a more fitting person that has military background. Right. I would like to see another woman as head of state, but you would have now. If I was going to pick head of state, I would actually pick MJ Hagar.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot about
that. Would be good. I think MJ would do real good as Secretary of State.
Yeah, MJ Hagar would do real good since she has the military experience. She's been in combat. She won't take the soldiers for granted. She actually she's walked in those shoes. She knows what it's like to be a vet. She knows what it's like to be a disabled vet. She knows what it's like to be a parent.
Right.
That's the culmination of, to me, if I was going to pick a Secretary of State, she would be on the top of my list.
Right. Replace Bill Barr's behind. Get rid of him. So everybody listen. Thank you for watching the show on tonight. We can go on and on and on and on about politics and all this good stuff. But I just want you guys to do us a favor. Stop what you're doing. Share this video right now. Go ahead and do that for us. Again, catch us on Tuesday night with my girl, Miss Shimmy. She is going to be jumping on again, of course, on next Wednesday. My boy Hendrix will happy hour with Hendrix. The F-Bomb crew is going to be on next Thursday night. If you missed MTG After Dark last night, you missed a hell of a treat because our asses was acting a fool. And of course, next Friday, of course, we'll be right back here. The MTG crew will be on MTG Live, and hopefully we will have a president-elect that we can congratulate at that moment. I'm still going to say go Biden. Congratulations to Kamala Harris for making history. We definitely appreciate her. Huh?
Q, before I go, didn't I tell you way back at the beginning of the year,
what?
I think she would make a great vice president, not quite president.
I told you that.
He told us that. He did.
Told you that.
He did. He did.
I told you that.
He did because he's been saying it the whole time.
Okay. Well, wait. I guess. Okay.
I mean, normally I would agree with you, boo, and everything, but no, Q did. Yeah, it was Q this time.
I called it.
He called it because he even said Biden was gonna come in at the end, right before the primaries. He called it. He did. He's been calling it.
Okay.
You know.
Biden Harris all the way, baby. Biden Harris.
He's been saying it. Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you so much again for joining the show. We're going to see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Do y'all want to give any encouraging words before we go, or y'all good on that?
Nah, I'm gonna just say this. Please remember that these elections and politics should never, ever, ever divide you from your loved ones at all. Please
Right.
don't let politics divide your household. Learn how to live with those with differences of opinions and different outlooks on the world from yourself.
Absolutely. Miss Shimmy, what you got?
Well, first of all, go Biden Harris. Shout out to TEH Creations for my shirt. Yay! Hit her up. So my encouraging words is more selfish. I want you all to be in prayer for me because tomorrow is my first live show of 2020 that will be recorded. Thank you to all the Shimmy 2.0 followers. Y'all just pray for me because I'm actually going up against a male comic, which is a very rare entity.
So is this a battle that y'all doing?
It's a comedy competition series. So this is going to be a series, you know, and this again is the first time I've ever gone up against or have had to kind of compete with a male. Of course, women are more frowned upon because they don't want, you know, to hear vulgar talk from a female or whatever, but I'm gonna kill it, so it don't matter. I'm just gonna squash him like a little old bug.
Oh, y'all gonna be throwing on each other? You definitely gotta let me see that.
No, we're
Y'all
not
ain't scoring on each other.
We don't get to score on each other, but the topics that we have, it's like an improv, so it's kind of off the dome.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha. Well, yes, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. If I had anything, I'm gonna encourage y'all. I guess, like I said, have a great weekend. Do us a favor. Make sure you continue to protect yourself. Wear your gloves. Wear your mask. Have on your goddamn sanitizer and all that good stuff. Protect yourself and others. And go and have a relaxing night. Eat you something. Get you some sleep. I'm about to sneeze. Get you some sleep and do all the things that you want to do today to make you happy. Because never, ever, ever regret the day that you smile. Anytime that you smile, you never, ever, ever let nobody take your smile from you. And that's about it. I guess, of course, on behalf of myself and the MTG crew, we're gonna say you guys on next week. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Peace and blessings.